You popped the question, you said yes, and now you're freaking out. What do you do? Our relationship expert, Dr. Julie Rosenzweig, joins us with the answer to some of those pre-wedding jitter questions. It's nice to see you, Julie.
Good to see you, too.
All right, before we get into the cold feet aspect of this, so to speak, let's talk about the meaning of being engaged. What exactly does it mean to be engaged?
Because we hardly ever really kind of figure
address
out what that is.
Right.
And it's a very unique stage in the life of a couple's relationship. It's that unique time period, that special time period between exclusively dating and being married. Unfortunately, a lot of couples get engaged either for the wrong reasons or they don't use that time period to their advantage, so they might get engaged instead of breaking up, or they get overly focused on the wedding rather than really staying focused on the central task of engagement, which is to really understand if you're going to be compatible across a number of areas over a lifetime.
Yeah, I think a lot of people look at engagement as it's the time to plan my wedding, but it goes so much deeper. So how long should an engagement last?
Well, if you think about how long it's going to take to do those two central tasks. One is to really say, how compatible are we really? Even though you've talked about that and you feel compatible, to really do some deep searching around that and deep conversation, as well as plan a meaningful ceremony. It's going to take you the better part of a year to get through those tasks. Now, on the flip side of that, if you've been engaged already for 2 and 3 years, chances are either you've gotten engaged for the wrong reasons or really you don't want to move to marriage.
Yeah, don't get engaged just to have that ring.
Right.
There's so much more to it.
So really count on a year period of engagement.
Okay, so you allow for that time, getting closer to the wedding. You might have cold feet, maybe wondering, is this right? Is it normal to have doubts?
It's very normal to have doubts. In fact, it's healthy to have doubts, and doubts are an indication that you're trying to move into that assessment phase, that you're really saying, okay, is this really what I want? Are we compatible enough? Now, some doubts are much more significant than others. So if you just kind of have general doubts, that's one thing, and it's very normal. But if you have doubts that are based on prior history of cheating, substance abuse that's been untreated, or any sort of abusive, then really you have to pay attention to those doubts and probably put everything on hold.
Well, and your doubts could really turn to some serious emotions. I mean, you might be crying about this and really be worried about it. I mean, it's a very serious thing because some women do this.
Brides-to-be cry a lot. You know,
and not just because of the stress.
Not just because of the stress. It's overwhelming emotionally. You've got a lot of transition issues to go through. You're leaving one life, getting ready for another. So tears are very common, and you shouldn't take it as a sign that it's not what you should be doing.
Well, and I think there would be many women, you know, especially if this is your first marriage, will I be a good wife?
Yeah.
You know, how do I know that this is going to be something that my husband's going to be happy with?
It's such a tender question.
It is.
And to answer that, you really have to understand and actually write down what your own definition of being a good wife is. The qualities, the responsibilities. Have that conversation with your fiance. Turn the tables on him and say, what do you think about that? And what's it mean to you to be a good husband? Such a centering conversation for a couple that's engaged to have.
That just gives me goosebumps because I don't think you really think about a lot of couples having those conversations as you get wrapped up in planning the wedding, but it's so important to have those
And it'll bring
talks.
you together emotionally, which is really what engagement is about.
Julie, thank you so much. Really good advice.
This has been Better.tv. For more stories like the one you just saw, catch the weekday television program Better, your source for styles, trends, relationships, beauty, fitness, and other stories that will help make your day better. Check local TV listings to see if Better airs in your city. Thanks for watching.